The truth is now people just get famous by putting the 30 seconds video rather than actually working in their life. It's a lioness who is the one who's actually goes and prays and attacks and get the food. Lion doesn't do anything. But us human and the ego is so much that we think women are weaker. We still believe that fairer are superior, fairer are prettier, fairer would get the way. That's what we show in our ads also, right? You put a cream and the guy will accept you, who doesn't want to marry you.
Hi, this is Aditi and you are watching me on ETimes. Today I have someone extremely special joining me, someone I've grown up watching and looked up to. Esha, a huge congratulations for Aashram.
Thank you, Aditi.
A huge welcome to ETimes and we are so happy to have you joining with us
Thank you
today.
so much for that.
So firstly, tell me about Aashram. It just released. How has the response been so far? What are people telling you?
It's been really good. Today, unfortunately, I can tell you like how good the response has been, that I was in Varanasi and I haven't slept at all because first I saw the show over there. Then when my parents woke up, they saw the show, so I had to be awake at that time.
Okay.
Then other people are messaging me, we saw the show, so I've not slept. Like today, the whole day was delayed because of me. Because I was like, oh my God, I have to wake up today. And I was just like, wow. And honestly, I don't think I even realized the excitement till it actually happened, you know. It was just so happened that I was with my best friend and his family in Varanasi, and then he's like, show release hone wala hai, and 11:30, like 11:30 nahi aayega raat ko, because I wanted to just go and sleep. I was so tired. And next thing we know that the show has come, we are watching, and you realize that, oh, okay, people are loving it, your show is out. And I love that I still get that excitement in every project of mine.
So what was your biggest takeaway from the show and the toughest part in exploring your character that way?
I don't know. I think I usually do not understand. Like for me, the toughest part, I'm going to answer that part first. It would be, I don't usually understand when people try and play games. I don't understand how people do that.
Okay.
You know, because it takes a lot of your energy.
Yeah.
But that's what Sonia is about. And even when I was seeing it, she looked the grey part that she's playing, and I was like, okay, that's nice, you know. Sonia managed to do that. Because for me, I'm very, I know that there are grey areas that exist in life, but as a person, I'm either black or white. I don't understand the beach ka part. I understand for others, but I don't know how to do that. For me, it's either good or bad. You know, and I'm glad that you know, Sonia could play, and that's the reason I was eating a lot of Prakash Jha's head. And the takeaway from this show is just, you know, I'm just more than takeaway, I'll just say that I fought for this role, because when this role was written, Prakash sir, you know, he already had someone else also casted, and I was not in country at that time. And when I heard the character and the casting director called me that, you know, I think you'll be nice for this, and you know, I called Prakash sir. I said, why aren't you, like, you know, you discussed my name, or aap mujhe le nahi rahe, like, you know, I thought you really liked me, like, what happened? And sir said ki nahi, you know, because of how the role is, third season mein aa rahi hai, chota role, would you be a part? And I said, yeah, because Aashram is such a big series and it's been so good. Also, I saw Aashram 1 and 2 as a fan. So when you're watching something as a fan and then
you're being a part of it.
हाँ, and मैंने आश्रम इसलिए नहीं देखा क्योंकि मुझे ऑफर हुआ है. मैंने आश्रम तो पहले हो गया था रिलीज. So we all saw when we all saw. And I was like, sir, मैंने लॉकडाउन में फैमिली के साथ बैठ के देखा है. Because we were in Meerut one day and you know, you're discussing, अरे क्या शो आ रहा है, क्या मूवी आ रही है. And in lockdown, after the first, before the second lockdown happened, is when you know, we were in Meerut and my family over there is telling Papa, अरे भैया आपको देखना चाहिए, बहुत अच्छा शो आया है, आपको अच्छा लगेगा. And we 4 of us, we saw in Delhi, we were like, wow, it's such a cool show. And I told my parents, I wish ऐसा कोई role मिले, ऐसा कोई show मिले करने को. So it was the takeaway was, to be honest, you manifest it and you get it. So now every day I'm manifesting 100 crores. That's what I'm doing.
So, you know, so speaking of your grey characters, you have generally portrayed grey characters in your films and projects. How do you reflect on that? How do you look at it?
You know, it's very easy to play the damsel in distress. It's more tougher to play the grey or the strong one. I think it's not because of any other reason, but also the whole perception of being a woman, and I'm not saying this society, I'm talking the world, is that a woman needs help. A woman can't reach a woman somewhere, status wise. A woman is physically weak, but that's only because of the human society that we have made to think of it over the years. Because otherwise, if you see in the animal kingdom, it's a lioness who is the one who's actually goes and preys and attacks and get the food. Lion doesn't do anything. But us human and the ego is so much that we think women are weaker. So when I get to play those parts, I really like it, because as a person, I'm really strong. I won't say I'm vindictive or this planning that I've done, whether it was Rustam or Commando or this, but a strong role for me would have been something like, I did in One Day. But even in this Aashram, Sonia is strong, Sonia knows what she wants. It's just that she's okay even if others get hurt in the process. She's okay with that. But I like that she's a strong, intelligent woman who knows how to get her work done, because that's how I am and that's how you are. That's how most of the women are. So it's good to play today's woman's role.
So, being in the entertainment industry for almost a decade now, you're 10-year-old here, you've seen Bollywood grow, and now with OTT, do you feel there's a pressure of staying relevant in this industry, or how do you look at it?
No, actually now things have changed. I think now, in fact, there's a pressure of doing good and different work rather than the same repetitive solution that we've been putting in cinema. Ladki, ladka, they'll even either have a financial difference, or they'll have koi padhai kar raha hai, koi ghar pe baith raha hai. No, the story is so much in life than that. If you ask me what is the best thing in my life, it's not about me having a relationship, and my life doesn't revolve around that. My life revolves around, how I studied, these interviews, how I've gone through ups and downs. So I think the good thing is that now people actually want to see the reality or the different altercations that we've been showing. So OTT is now being more relevant, being more audience driven, and giving you great content.
But what about you, because we generally don't see you often, and seeing you in Aashram was like, oh my God, finally we are getting to see you.
I think, like I said, now there's so much work for everyone. Earlier you used to have, nahi, hame ye karna hai, wo karna hai, but now you can pick and choose. And not now, I always wanted to see. I also come from a mindset that there are 20 other things you can do if you have to just make money. You cannot consider acting or films as making money to me. Of course, I want to be still respected. If you don't have money at all, it's one of those projects and I still want to be a part of, I will. But when big productions come to you and offer you something which is not that important a role and offer you no money, I don't even want to do that. But imagine like something like Aashram comes. I don't think even my agency spoke about the money. No, exactly. we were just like, we just want to lock the deal. Because you just want to be a part of the project. And I became actor by chance. I became, from doing my law, like just my practice was gonna start to becoming an actor. I realized that in life, okay, you do your events, you do your performances, you do other things where you make money, but films at least pick up good work. And whether it was the offers that I was getting or however you want to say, it wasn't something that was pleasing me or making me satisfied. And I did not want, after 20 years, my kids to watch and be like, yuck, what has she done or what is she looking? Or if it's cheap, and cheap, I don't mean sexual cheap, I just mean like, it doesn't make sense.
It wasn't worthy.
And I don't want to be a part of that.
So have your choices of scripts evolved too with time?
Actually, my choices of script were, like I said, I played negative Rustam when it was offered to me. The casting director had called me, and the director, she had told me it's negative, but that's it, that the director wants to meet you. And Tinu sir met, and they were all just so scared. They're like, we really see you in this, and it's a role of a lifetime, but we are not sure if you want to be a part of it. And they explained, and I was sitting there with my agent. I remember at that time, I just looked at her and I was like, yeah, but I don't know why you would think I wouldn't want to do it, because a lot of actresses till now are not okay being negative. People hating you when there's a hero. You don't want to be an anti-hero. You're okay if you're the only anti-hero. It's like Batman. He's a vigilante. He's not a superhero. So everyone is not okay playing that. But for me, and I was like, wow, it's a role in the lifetime. Like, okay, to me, I took it differently. I took it as if, oh, there'll be Akshay Kumar, and then who will be, screwing his happiness throughout the film is me. So, well, I want to be a part of that.
So, being an outsider, as you said, it did take some time for you to get that acceptance from Bollywood. So, how has your approach been towards stardom?
I think even my perception has changed. What happens is when we don't get things, it's like school. When you know you've done really well and you know इतने marks आने चाहिए थे, you'll still feel teacher ने गलत किया, ये किया, वो किया. You don't realize that your answer was correct, but you could have just probably explained it better. And that's the same that's happened to me over the years. I kept thinking, oh my God, I'm not getting work. Oh my God, industry is not accepting. If industry did not accept, I wouldn't have been, Jannat wouldn't have been such a big hit. Raz wouldn't have been. Chakravyuh, third films. I was getting films back to back, back to back. You need to realize that industry has accepted you. And they've given you a lot. Yes, the only thing I'll say as someone who's not from the industry that outsiders face is you don't have a shoulder to cry on. And you do not have anyone guiding you the right way. Because most of the people I've met, they're very few. Like my agent now is one of my best friends. But that's because you can trust them more than the people. There are very few who would want to see you progress and guide you the same way.
Yeah.
Most of the times what happens is they feel if not this person, we can take another person.
Yeah.
Or the reason behind them trying to guide you the way is something else. So that's one thing I feel that I really wish if I was from the industry, I know I wouldn't have faced that. And also when you
easy ho jata.
Yeah, and you have people to fall back on and people would not want anything else from you.
Exactly.
And the other thing I think, like I said, like someone to just take care of you when you're at your lowest. If you're an industry person, flop away, what's the big deal? You have another film. When you're not from the industry, I remember like when my first flop and I was like, oh my God, it was also a chatka. Oh my God, a flop like this. Oh my God, there's no work. Oh my God. But then in like 2 weeks, I was working, earning money, doing so much work, and you realize, well, that's life.
So do you think you've been successful in carving your own niche in this industry now?
I think I'm very successful in life, and I think that's what everyone should be. Like I said, again, it's taken me years to come to this mindset and realize that you don't compare yourself with people. Actually, we don't do that, but it's the society, it's the people around that tell you, compare yourself with this person, compare yourself with this person, look at this skin is so much nicer, look at this body is so much nicer, everything we are compared to. So we are all made in a world to be in a rat race. But hey, you asked me how much did I earn. My first job was picking up tables at McDonald's because I had to pay my own tuition fees. It's really expensive to study abroad. I remember my parents could not. It's not that I remember, but my dad was in the Air Force. He couldn't pay. He said, if you can afford, you go. If you can't, you study in India. So I did that. When I did my first modeling job, and this was after Miss India, but then, the people still meet you and think they're doing you favors. I got only 1,500. Okay. So 1,500 rupees is nothing. Nowadays, models won't even look at 1,500. From that to now where, I won't even meet a person for a narration unless it's someone like important to where I've reached. I think it's a big progress. Like I know I walk down the road and people know who I am. So I think it's success.
This is inspiring. So, have you ever felt that you were cast in a project for all the wrong reasons? Or, have you ever looked at a project that way?
Yeah, but but I didn't end up doing those projects then. Either they are showing me in the wrong way or they are only ready to give me the film if I go the wrong way. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So, again at the same time, Esha, there's a lot of chatter about colorism, and there's a notion in this industry that if you're fair-skinned, you have a lot of benefits in this industry. And you being someone who's so charming and yet they say, now you do have a dusky complexion. Has there any point in your life where you have been called out for your skin color or
so I've had 2 instances. Once there was a brand, which in the contract, it was actually even our fault, like me and my ex-agency, we did not read that the contract said whitening product and not brightening. See, bright, if I have every day I put cucumber on my face or even eat the right food, the brightness comes. So then they decide to screw me and like sue me because I wasn't ready to do lightening products, skin whitening. And that's when you realize that we come from a land where problem is India comes from the mindset, which is still a mindset where we think white supremacy that Americans are fighting about, it's actually true. White supremacy means the reason that people who were dark color, dark skin, the reason they were slaves is because the white supremacy thought we are fair because God really thinks that we are the ones who are supposed to rule.
Yeah.
It's not that. India, problem is ulta. We still believe that fairer are superior, fairer are prettier, fairer would get the way. That's what we show in our ads also, right? You put a cream and the guy will accept you. Who doesn't want to marry you? You apply the cream, you'll get that dream job of yours. But when you go with this skin tone, no makeup, your real hair which is textured and voluptuous skin which is Indian like you'll go anywhere abroad, you go in Europe and they'll just be like, you're the most beautiful girl we've seen.
Yeah.
And you realize, hey, there's everyone for everyone all over the world.
Again, at the same time, you are one such actress who has a very strong social media presence. But at the same time, women do become easy targets for their bold words and fashion choices. And you have been one of them. And you've been very outspoken and confident about the same too. So, what does it take you to shut out that noise and do your own thing?
When you can't change the world, change yourself. I really believe in that. And I don't think I'm here to change the world. All I can do is be a person who goes to bed with a conscience that okay, I did well and I'm not a bad person. But I mean, people will troll you no matter what. And women, it's easier to troll. See, pehle kya hota tha, pehle bhi, I remember jab pehle ki movies dekhte the, it used to show if the woman has taken a divorce, they'll say bachchalan hai, but a man getting divorced or something, even if the man's wife died is okay, but purani movies mein bhi dikhate hain na, pati mar jata tha, usme bhi ye wo hai, buri kismat or whatever. So women have always been an easy target, and like I said, it's all over the world that women have been easy target. Even when it was someone like the Iron Lady, who was Margaret Thatcher in UK, when she was the Prime Minister, she was for so many years, people only looked down at her, even though she's the one who took UK to a different level.
True.
But people still spoke against her. So I think it's the history of our world.
So on a different context, would you agree that the handsome and the beautiful never go hungry?
I think in anywhere in this world, people believe that people who are good looking or people who are pretty will not, that they'll never go hungry. But that's also because now the world is becoming more fuller and fuller. Yeah. I know this is something maybe I'm saying controversial, I don't know. But the truth is now people just get famous by putting the 30 seconds video rather than actually working in their life. So what are they earning from the filters and from... And most of them are good looking actually, forget filters also. They're actually not talking about what's happening in the world or, actually working. They are still doing and they're still more successful probably than we are.
On a closing note, one last thing I wanted to know from you. One piece of advice that you would have given to yourself from a decade ago or to your younger self.
Wow, to a decade ago... I don't know, to a decade ago, I don't know, because to a decade ago, and as of now, if you think I'm really happy doing what I'm doing, maybe if I was a decade ago, never know, maybe that myself would have said, hey, don't do the acting course and just follow your dreams and become a lawyer. Okay. And maybe I would have then now become an actor, because I really believe what is meant for you will find your way, But I think a younger self, I'll just tell that, hey, just be happy that you don't have a telephone, just be happy that you have a real life, just be happy you can still go out and play games, because once you grow up, the life is going to change, the world is going to change, and never let anyone judge you.
Thank you so much for doing this with me, Esha.
Thank you so much, Aditi.
I had a great time chatting with you, and I really like your approach towards things.
Thank you.
So I really look forward to having more conversations with you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye,
Aditi. Bye.